Hello everyone, this is M. Sandeep Kumar and I welcome you all back to my YouTube channel Concepts of IIT Maths. So your destination channel for all IIT and CBSE related mathematical concepts and problems with solutions. Okay now, so we have completed the chapter of quadratic equations and currently we are discussing all the previous year questions. So we have discussed the previous year questions up to 2018 in part 1 and part 2 in the previous videos. Then we have discussed the questions of JEE Mains 2019 in two parts, and finally we are into the previous year questions are JEE Mains 2020. So part 1 is already completed and this is part 2 video, right? So if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, you just make sure that you are subscribing the channel and clicking the bell icon. Now let us continue with our part 2. So in part 1 I have completed 5 questions and this is the continuation video. So let us look into the continuation questions on JEE Mains 2020. You make sure that you are watching the video till end. Here is our sixth question, the continuation of part 1. Let a comma b are real numbers where a is not equal to 0. B such that the equation ax square minus 2bx plus 5 equal to 0. This equation has a repeated root alpha. Okay now. So which means that I can say that both the roots of these equations are same. Okay now. Both the roots are alpha comma alpha. Next, which is also a root of this equation. That means this alpha is a root of this equation also. If beta is the other root of this equation, then alpha square plus beta square is equal to how much? Here are your options, and this is a question given in 9th Jan evening shift, the second shift. Very easy, very easy. See here. First of all, alpha is a repeated root. So alpha comma alpha are the roots of this equation. Ax square minus 2bx plus 5 equal to 0. So first you go with sum of the roots. Alpha plus alpha equal to minus b by a. That means 2b by a. So therefore 2 alpha equal to 2b by a, and if you cancel 2 on both sides, alpha is equal to b by a. Next let us use the product of the roots. If I go for product of the roots, alpha into alpha is equal to c by a, right? That means 5 by a. So alpha square is equal to 5 by a, where alpha is b by a. Substitute here. So b square by a square is equal to 5 by a. So a and square will get cancelled, and if you cross multiply, you'll get b square is equal to 5a. Remember these clues, they are very important. So b square is equal to 5a is one more clue that I have got. Next, dear students, alpha is a root of the first equation, right? So in place of x, I can substitute alpha. You can go for first equation or you can go to second equation, that is your wish. So alpha is a root of the first equation ax square minus 2bx plus 5 equal to 0. So which means that in place of x I can take alpha. So you'll get a alpha square minus 2b alpha plus 5 equal to 0. And again in place of alpha I can take b by a. So a times b by a whole square minus 2b into b by a plus 5 equal to 0. So b square by a will come, because a and a square they'll get cancelled, and minus 2b square by a plus 5 equal to 0. Here I have got a common denominator a, and b square minus 2b square is minus b square. So we already know that b square value is 5a. Substitute here. So minus 5a by a is minus 5. Wait a second. Here I am getting minus 5 plus 5 equal to 0. So instead of substituting alpha in the first equation, then let us substitute in the second equation. So which means that I cannot substitute alpha in the first equation. So let us substitute in the second equation. So again, alpha is a root of the second equation. So take alpha and substitute here. Alpha square minus 2b alpha minus 10 equal to 0. So where alpha is b by a. So b square by a square minus 2b into b by a minus 10 equal to 0. So b square is how much? 5a. So 5a by a square minus 2 times again b square means 5a with the denominator a. So a and square will get cancelled. So you will get 5 by a minus 10 minus 10 is minus 20 equal to 0. So take minus 20 right side and cancel out 5 ones are 5 fours are. You will get a is equal to 1 by 4. So I got the value of a, which is equal to 1 by 4. Now we can find what is alpha square plus beta square. So I am erasing this. See dear students, alpha and beta are the roots of this equation. Alpha and beta are the roots of this equation. So he is asking alpha square plus beta square, and we know that this is alpha plus beta whole square minus 2 alpha beta. So alpha plus beta is minus b by a. Minus b by a means you will get 2b whole square. Minus 2 into alpha beta means c by a. That means you will get minus 10. So this is 4b square plus 20. And we have already found out that b square value is 5a. B square value is 5a just before this. So 4 5s are 20 into a value is 1 by 4 plus 20. Therefore 4 1s are 4 5s are. The answer is 5 plus 20 25. This is the answer. By practice you can do all these things within a minute. Just like that you will do it. There is no doubt in that. So right here students, again we are using the symmetric function of roots concept. So you can find this concept in quadratic equations playlist. And moreover, we also have a concept called repeated roots. Sorry, not repeated roots. We have a concept called common roots. You can find that concept also in the playlist of quadratic equations. The concept of common roots. So we'll go to next question. The next question. Let alpha and beta be the roots of this equation. What is that equation? 5x square plus 6x minus 2 equal to 0. And then if Sn is equal to alpha power n plus beta power n, Sn, where n is equal to 1, 2, 3 and so on, then which of the following options are correct? This is a September shift question. So from here on we will look into the questions given in September shifts. So 2nd September first shift. You can do like this, dear students. You can find out what is S5, S4, and then S6 one by one using the symmetric functions concept, but that is actually a lengthier method. So we don't choose that method here. We have another method. So what is it? Let us see. Observe carefully. They told that alpha comma beta are the roots of 5x square plus 6x minus 2 equal to 0. I'm doing the solution using a shortcut. So first of all, alpha is a root. So therefore I can say that 5 alpha square plus 6 alpha minus 2 equal to 0. And he also told that beta is a root, so I can substitute beta in place of x. So 5 beta square plus 6 beta minus 2 equal to 0. And observe one thing. S6 means alpha power 6 plus beta power 6. S5 means alpha power 5 plus beta power 5, and S4 means alpha power 4 plus beta power 4. Among this, the highest one is alpha power 6 and beta power 6. So what should I do such that I will get alpha power 6 here? What should I do on both sides to get alpha power 6 here? Clearly multiplying with alpha power 4, correct? So if I multiply with alpha power 4 on both sides, this equation becomes what? 5 into alpha power 6 plus 6 into alpha power 5 and then minus 2 into alpha power 4 equal to 0. And similarly here also, if I multiply with beta power 4 on both sides, what happens? If I multiply with beta power 4 on both sides, then 5 into beta power 6 plus 6 into beta power 5 minus 2 into beta power 4 equal to 0. Now within one step we will get our answer. What is it? Add these two. So 5 if I take common, alpha power 6 plus beta power 6. And 6 here if you take common, alpha power 5 plus beta power 5. And then minus 2 if you take common, alpha power 4 plus beta power 4 equal to 0. So therefore 5 times this is S6 according to this. And then plus 6 times this is S5. Minus 2 into this is S4 equal to 0. Simple. Take it right side. So which option it is? Is it the second option or not? So if you take minus 2s4 to the right, so it is the second option. Easy, right? It is not compulsory that we should always find alpha plus beta, alpha square plus beta square, alpha cube plus beta cube, alpha power 4 plus beta power 4 and so on in order to find S4, S5 and S6. You can do like this also. This is easier method. We'll go to the next question. Let us go to the next question. Our 8th question. The set of all real values of lambda for which this quadratic equation always have exactly one root in this interval 0, 1. Observe this. The set of all real values of lambda for which this quadratic equation always have exactly one root in this interval 0, 1. What does it mean? It means that if you go to your number line and if you look at the numbers 0 and 1, between 0 and 1, this quadratic equation must have exactly one root. Only one root will be there. And moreover, you have to ask yourself, is it an upward parabola or downward parabola? Here we don't have two possibilities. There is only one possibility. Look at the coefficient of x square, lambda square plus 1. Do you know that lambda square plus 1 is always greater than 0? For all lambda belongs to R. So lambda square plus 1 is always greater than 0. That means the coefficient of x square is always positive. So here we have upward parabola. So how can I draw the graph now? Either I can draw the graph like this, or I can draw the graph like this. Either way, it doesn't matter whether you're drawing the graph like this or you're drawing the graph like this. So either way, we have only one root alpha between 0 and 1. So and where is the other root? Where is the other root? You just concentrate on the blue color graph. You can ignore the red color graph. You can take the graph like this or like this. Okay, na? So you just concentrate on the blue color graph. So I'm erasing the red color graph then, so that we don't have to get confused. So it is an upward parabola where there is only one root between 0 and 1. Okay, na? And the other root is somewhere. Okay, it is not between 0 and 1, just understand this. So, and if we go with our concept of location of roots, I have explained the concept of location of roots. You can check it in the playlist of quadratic equations in our channel. In our channel, you can go and check it. After this video also you can check it. Anyhow, see here. The only condition that matters here is f of 0 into f of 1. See, f of 0 is above x-axis, positive, and f of 1 is below x-axis, negative. So positive into negative is always negative. That means less than 0. This is the only condition which is required to find out in which interval lambda lies. That's it, enough. If you want more details about this concept, you can go and check the concept of location of roots. So f of 0, what is f of 0? First of all, f of x is equal to lambda square plus 1 into x square minus 4 lambda x plus 2. So f of 0, if you find, substitute x as 0 here and here, you will get only 2. So f of 0 is equal to 2. And then you can also find what is f of 1. Take x as 1, lambda square plus 1 into 1, and then minus 4 lambda into 1 plus 2. So let us substitute the same thing here. F of 0 is 2 times, this is lambda square minus 4 lambda plus 3 less than 0. And there is no need of this into 2. We can transpose it to the right side. So we are left out with lambda square minus 4 lambda plus 3 less than 0. So you can factorize this quadratic polynomial. You'll get lambda minus 1 into lambda minus 3 less than 0. So now go to the number line. Take the zeros on this number line, 1 and 3. Since the symbol is less than, we are supposed to take the values between 1 and 3. So again, a concept that comes under the solution set of quadratic inequalities. So we have done this concept also. You can check it in the playlist of quadratic equations, or else you can also choose wavy curve method. So this concept is also present in our playlist of quadratic equations. So according to this, since the symbol is less than symbol, you are supposed to choose the values between 1 and 3. So therefore lambda belongs to 1 and 3. And if you look at the options, you will be surprised, because if this is the exact answer, we don't have that option. Even though 1, 3 is a subset of the third option, but we are not getting the exact option. Why? Once again, come to our figure. Once again, do you think this is the only possibility? Do you think that beta is always greater than 1 or beta is always less than 0 like that? Think again. He told that one root only, exactly one root is present inside the interval 0 and 1. So that means alpha must be there between 0 and 1. And what about beta? Beta should not be between 0 and 1. That means that, can I say that beta can be equal to 1? If beta is exactly equal to 1, it is not coming between 0 and 1. It is not coming, so no problem. And moreover, beta can be 0 also. And moreover, beta can be 0 also. But according to the quadratic equation, beta cannot be 0. The root cannot be 0 because we have a constant term. Beta cannot be 0. So beta cannot be 0 and beta can be equal to 1. If I consider this entire solution as case 1, what is case 2? Beta can be equal to 1. The other root can be 1. The other root can be equal to 1. So take this, if beta is equal to 1, that is case 2. Anyhow, I am erasing this. So if you go for case 2, where beta can be equal to 1. So since the root is 1, what happens? If beta is 1, you can substitute in this quadratic equation. If you substitute in this quadratic equation, you will get lambda square plus 1 into 1 minus 4 lambda into 1 plus 2 equal to 0. So that means lambda square minus 4 lambda plus 3 equal to 0. Therefore lambda is equal to 1 or 3. Therefore lambda is equal to 1 or 3. Then you might be thinking, sir, if lambda is equal to both 1 and 3, then the answer must be closed interval 1 comma 3 na? Simple. You have to resubstitute the lambda is equal to 1 value. If you resubstitute lambda is equal to 1 value, then you will get 2x square minus 4x plus 2 equal to 0. So that means x square minus 2x plus 1 equal to 0. This is nothing but x square minus 2x plus 1 equal to 0. This will give you repeated roots. Repeated roots means what? Both alpha and beta are same, but alpha and beta cannot be same because according to the question, exactly one root is present in the interval 0 and 1. Both the roots cannot be between 0 and 1. Okay, na? So, and moreover, it is contradicting the fact that the root is between 0 and 1. If both the roots are equal to 1 comma 1, how come a root comes between 0 and 1? So lambda cannot be equal to 1. Therefore, the only possibility is that lambda is equal to 3. So therefore, 3 is also included. The final option is what? Final answer is lambda belongs to 1 comma 3 where 3 is included. I hope you understood why 3 is included here. Because beta can be on 1 also. That is the reason, that is the point you just remember. So beta can be 1 also and therefore lambda can be 3 also. So option 3. We will go to the next question. Our ninth question given in 3rd September first shift. Let alpha and beta be the roots of this equation. X square plus px plus 2 equal to 0. And 1 by alpha comma 1 by beta are the roots of this equation. 2x square minus 2qx plus 1 equal to 0. Then find the value of alpha plus 1 by beta into beta plus 1 by alpha into alpha minus 1 by alpha into beta minus 1 by beta. Here are our four options. Very easy actually. Frankly to say, just solve it, you will get the answer. There is no doubt in that. So alpha and beta are the roots of the first equation, right? Alpha and beta are the roots of x square plus px plus 2 equal to 0. So this will give you alpha plus beta is equal to minus b by a, which means minus p. And alpha beta is equal to c by a, which means 2. Remember this. Next, 1 by alpha and 1 by beta are the roots of this equation. So 2x square minus 2qx plus 1 equal to 0. So which means that again the sum of the roots 1 by alpha plus 1 by beta is equal to minus b by a. You will get q. And then the product of the roots 1 by alpha into 1 by beta is equal to c by a. So observe that this and this both are same itself. So fine. Now let us find out the value of this. Let me expand it. Why should I write it again? So multiply these two. What do you get? Alpha beta plus alpha into 1 by alpha is 1. Next 1 by beta into beta is 1. Plus 1 by beta into 1 by alpha is 1 by alpha beta. Into, similarly if I multiply these two, what do you get? Alpha beta minus 1 by minus alpha by beta. So okay na? It is minus alpha by beta. And then if I multiply these two, you will get minus beta by alpha, and then multiply these two, you will get plus 1 by alpha beta. Plus 1 by alpha beta. So let us substitute alpha beta values because I know already alpha beta is 2. So 2 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 by 2. Correct? So this is what 2 plus 1 plus 1 is 4. 4 plus 1 by 2 into 2 plus 1 by 2. 2 plus 1 by 2 is again 5 by 2, correct? 5 by 2 minus of alpha by beta plus beta by alpha. Easy calculation, that's it. As I told you, keep solving, you'll get the answer. So 2 4s are 8 plus 1, 9 by 2 into 5 by 2 minus half. You can take a common denominator. Alpha into alpha, alpha square plus beta into beta, beta square by beta alpha means alpha beta. So 9 by 2 as it is, 5 by 2 as it is, minus half. The numerator can be written as, what is it? Alpha plus beta whole square minus 2 alpha beta. The numerator is this. Please make sure that you are keeping the brackets. And the denominator is 2 because alpha beta value is 2. Close the bracket. Now substitute the values of alpha plus beta and alpha beta, we will get the answer. That's it. So here we have got a common denominator 2. So take that common denominator 2 outside. You'll get 9 by 4 into only 5 minus. Alpha plus beta is what here? Minus p. So with brackets, minus p whole square is p square. And then minus 2 into alpha beta is also 2. So 2 2s are 4. So open the brackets, you'll get your answer. So what is it, dear students? 5 minus into minus plus 4. 5 minus into minus plus 4 means 5 plus 4 only. So 5 plus 4 is 9. 9 minus p square. So that is it. So if you just solve this, you'll get what? 9 minus p square. So where is that option? 9 by 4 into 9 minus p square. So it is the first option. Just solve it, you'll get the answer. That's it. Right? I hope that you felt that this question is easy. We'll go to the next question. Our next question. Let lambda is not equal to 0. Observe this. B in R. B in R means be any real number. If alpha comma beta are the roots of this equation and alpha comma gamma are the roots of this equation, then what is the value of beta gamma divided by lambda? What is the value of beta gamma by lambda? So here are our 4 options. So let us solve it. Very easy. Once again I am saying this. First they told that alpha comma beta are the roots of x square minus x plus 2 lambda equal to 0. And at the same time they told that alpha comma gamma are the roots of this one, 3x square minus 10x plus 27 lambda equal to 0. So first of all, both of them have a common root, right? So let us use that common root concept. So if alpha is a root of this equation, I can substitute alpha in place of x. So you'll get alpha square minus alpha plus 2 lambda equal to 0. And here also alpha is a root of this equation. So in place of x, I can substitute alpha. So 3 alpha square minus 10 alpha plus 27 lambda equal to 0. So let us make sure that the coefficient of alpha squares are same. For that I'll multiply this entire equation with 3 and rewrite it below here. So 3 into alpha square is 3 alpha square and then minus 3 alpha and then plus 6 lambda equal to 0. I'm solving it to find the value of alpha. So by subtracting, the signs will change at the bottoms. So these two will get cancelled because 3 alpha square minus 3 alpha square get cancelled. Minus 10 alpha plus 3 alpha is minus 7 alpha. And then 27 lambda minus 6 lambda is 21 lambda. Now you can take minus 7 alpha right side. So 21 lambda is equal to 7 alpha and divide with 7 on both sides. So you'll get 3 lambda is equal to alpha or alpha is equal to 3 lambda. So you'll get this. Alpha is equal to 3 lambda. Observe, alpha is equal to 3 lambda. This is the first clue. Now, dear students, since alpha is equal to 3 lambda, I can substitute either in first equation or in second equation. I'll substitute in the first equation. Take alpha is equal to 3 lambda because alpha is a root of this. So we already know that alpha square minus alpha plus 2 lambda equal to 0 because alpha is a root. In place of alpha, I can substitute 3 lambda. So substitute here. So 3 lambda whole square minus 3 lambda plus 2 lambda equal to 0. So what is it? We'll get 9 lambda square minus lambda equal to 0. And you can take lambda common, we'll get 9 lambda minus 1 equal to 0. So therefore, who are the two values of lambda here? Lambda is equal to 0 from here or lambda is equal to 1 by 9 from here. So lambda can be equal to 0 or 1 by 9. Come back to the question again. Lambda is not equal to 0. Not accepted. Lambda equal to 0 is not accepted. Therefore, lambda is equal to 9. Sorry, 1 by 9. If lambda is 1 by 9, according to this, what is alpha? I'll call this as equation 3. So substitute in equation 3. So if you substitute lambda is equal to 1 by 9, what do you get? Alpha is equal to 3 into 1 by 9. You get 1 by 3. So I got alpha value as 1 by 3. Next, continuation is there. So I'll erase left side. Since alpha beta are the roots of this equation, I'll go for product of the roots. Product of the roots is equal to C by A. That means 2 lambda, right? Substitute the values of alpha and lambda. So alpha is 1 by 3 into beta is equal to 2 times lambda is 1 by 9. So 3 and 3 is there. You get beta is equal to 2 by 3. Similarly, take the product of the roots for the second equation. What is it? Alpha and gamma are the roots. Na? So product of the roots. Alpha gamma is equal to C by A. That means 9 lambda. So where alpha value is how much? 1 by 3 into gamma is equal to 9 times. Lambda is 1 by 9. So 9 and 9 gets cancelled. Lambda is equal to 3. Sorry, gamma is equal to 3. And he is asking to find this value. You can do it. You'll get the answer. So therefore beta gamma by lambda. So beta is 2 by 3 and gamma is 3 and lambda is 1 by 9. So therefore 3 and 3 will get cancelled. So 2 into 9, 18. This is the answer. So where is that option? With just like it, it's a flow. You got it? Just like a flow, you'll get the answers. There is no doubt in that, dear students. Proper practice is required with a proper idea about the concepts. So I hope you have understood this. We'll go to the next question. Here is our next question given in 5th September, first shift. If you look at this question itself, you will feel very happy. These are mouth-watering questions, right? Very, very easy question. These are very easy questions. It is a question under the concept of the equations containing absolute values. You can find this topic in quadratic equations playlist. Equations containing absolute values. One of the basic questions. He is asking the product of the roots of this equation. So first of all, I'll rewrite the equation as x square can be written as mod x square. So minus 18 mod x plus 5 equal to 0. So for some time I'll take mod x is equal to t. So then what happens to the equation then? 9t square minus 18t plus 5 equal to 0. Now let us factorize. 9 5s are 45. And if I want 18, I can write it as 315 there. Because 3 plus 15 is 18. So 9t square minus 3t minus 15t plus 5 equal to 0. So you can take 3t common. So you get 3t minus 1. And then you can take minus 5 common. You get 3t minus 1. So here and here you can take 3t minus 1 common into 3t minus 5. So the product of two things is equal to 0. So from the first thing you'll get t is equal to 1 by 3 and from second thing t is equal to 5 by 3. But actually who is t here? Who is t? Mod x. So mod x is equal to 1 by 3 or mod x is equal to 5 by 3. So then if I remove mod here, then right side I'll get plus or minus 1 by 3. And similarly here also if I remove modulus, I'll get right side plus or minus 5 by 3. Therefore there are 4 roots. Who are the 4 roots? The roots are 1 by 3 comma minus 1 by 3 comma 5 by 3 comma minus 5 by 3. And anyhow they are asking us to take the product of the 4 roots. So if you multiply the 4 roots, what do you get? The numerator, the product of the numerator is 25, the product of the denominator is 81. So it is option 1. It is option 1. Very easy question, right? We'll go to the next question. The last question of this video. Another mouth-watering question, another easier question. If alpha and beta be the roots of this quadratic equation, then find the value of this. See, don't feel that it might be difficult by looking at the rational indices. No, it's actually very easy. Really? Let us see. So the power 1 by 8 can be separated to the numerator and denominator, right? So alpha cube power 1 by 8 is alpha power 3 by 8 and beta power 5 power 1 by 8 is beta power 5 by 8. And here also beta power 3 into 1 by 8 is 3 by 8 and alpha power 5 into 1 by 8 is 5 by 8. Let us take the common denominator. So what is it? Alpha power 3 by 8 into alpha power 5 by 8 plus beta power 5 by 8 into beta power 3 by 8 divided by the product of these two. So what is it? Beta power 5 by 8 into alpha power 5 by 8. That means alpha beta whole power 5 by 8. We are into the last step. A power m into a power n. So a power m plus n. That means you'll get 1 because 3 by 8 plus 5 by 8 is 1. And similarly here also beta power 5 by 8 plus 3 by 8 which is 1 divided by alpha beta whole power 5 by 8. Now look at the question. The numerator alpha plus beta is what? Since alpha comma beta are the roots of this quadratic equation, alpha plus beta is minus b by a. That means 64 only. So the numerator is 64. And alpha beta is the product of the roots c by a, which means 256. But 256 has 5 by 8. We all know that 256 is 2 power 8. You can prime factorize if you don't know. So multiply the powers here. The denominator is 64 by, the denominator is 2 power 5. Where 2 power 5 is 32. Where the value of 2 power 5 is 32. So 64 by 32 is equal to 2. That is your answer. Certainly it is mouth-watering question. Very, very easy question, right? So dear students, we have discussed all the previous year questions given in JEE Mains 2020 in all the various shifts under the topic quadratic equations. Around 12 questions are discussed here in part 1 and at the same time in part 2. So I hope that you have felt that the explanation is easier. So in that case, please like the video, share it, subscribe my channel, and moreover refer this channel to your friends. Let the channel grow. So see you all in next class with next video, dear students.